Good morning, all of you. Shall we start the class? Today we are going to discuss about the revealed preference theory. Actually, this revealed preference theory, we can divide this revealed preference into two distinct ones. It has two approaches. The first one given by Professor Alfred Marshall. How we have given? By using the marginal utility analysis, cardinal approach. He have given a theory of demand. The second one, it is given by the J.R. Hicks. This particular theory of consumer behavior, it is using the indifference curve that is called ordinal utility. So, as far as the revealed preference theory is concerned, there are two approaches. One is given by Alfred Marshall. The second one is given by the J.R. Hicks. Alfred Marshall has given the cardinal approach where the utility value expressed in utils in numbers. J.R. Hicks, he has given the restructured demand theory. He used the indifference curve analysis. So as far as the revealed preference theory is concerned, there are two approaches. The first approach, let us start with that. The revealed preference approach actually emerged from the American economists, especially we have to say Professor Paul A. Samuelson. He wrote one article. Article name is Consumption Theory in Terms of Revealed Preference. Which year? I think 1938. In this, what he said, this theory particularly relates with the market behavior of the consumer to know about what the consumer behavior is with regard to various combination and their responses and reaction related with the customer. There are two products, X and Y. In that, how X is preferred than Y or how Y is preferred than X. When it is started by Paul Samuelson in 1938, the famous research article called Consumption Theory. Excuse me. Consumption Theory in Terms of Revealed Preference. After this only, the revealed preference hypothesis, it gets its own importance. He made a list of assumptions. Totally 8 assumptions are there. Let us see one by one. Keep it in mind. This particular revealed preference theory has the following assumption. The consumer has only two combination of commodities, X and Y. Okay. The income of the consumer, price of the two commodities are constant during the period of analysis. The third assumption is the taste of the consumer are given and remain unchanged during the period of analysis. The fourth assumption is the consumer should choose only one combination of the commodities in a given price and income situation, because there are possibility of different combination, but we assume that he should choose one particular combination only, then only it is possible to understand how he revealed the preference. The fifth assumption is based on the observed facts and the ordinal utility analysis. Understand that this particular revealed preference theory given by Paul Samuelson is based on the ordinal utility. Already we studied cardinal and ordinal utility. Cardinal means it is expressed in number, marginal utility analysis application. Second one is the ordinal utility, which is expressed in ranks, and here it is assuming that it is a quantitative analysis. Apart from this, there are a few more assumptions. A consumer can be persuaded by more commodities if its price is subject to substantial cut. If the price is reduced, he will increase the demand. Law of demand applies here. The choice of the consumer reveals his preference and market behavior of the consumer. Suppose he is this much X and this much Y, and it is nothing but it is his own choice. There is no restriction while choosing how many X and how many Y. So that assumption is needed. It is free from all market situation and other factors because he has the right to choose any combination. The seventh assumption should be the consistency states a strong ordering preference hypothesis by Samuelson. There are two different ordering. One is called strong ordering. The second one is called weak ordering. Apart from these, that will be a general ordering. But keep it in mind, strong ordering means he is saying, I need X. What is weak ordering? Either X or Y. It is called weak ordering. So understand that he will prefer some product. So we used to call it as a strong ordering. Suppose you don't know how to choose whether this one or that one, then it is not a strong ordering, it is a weak ordering. The transitivity says there are two observation of choice of behavior which can conflict with regard to individual consumer preference. Suppose if transitivity problem is not there, then the theory will not hold good. A is greater than B. B is greater than C. What it indicates, A is greater than C. So this is called transitivity. You understand? A விட B பிடிக்கும், B விட C பிடிக்கும்னா என்ன இண்டிகேட் பண்ணுதுன்னா A விட C பிடிக்கும்ன்றதுதான் இண்டிகேஷன். When A is greater than B, B is greater than C, it indicates A is greater than C. It is called transitivity thing. After knowing the assumption, now let's start with the explanation. Understand there are two combinations. So X and Y is there. So we are measuring that particular thing in X and Y. In X axis, good X is measured. In Y axis, good Y is measured. Now, with that combination, how we are going to classify it? When the consumer purchases some commodities with the X and Y, only these two X and Y is purchased. Suppose if both commodities are equally in same cost and equally good, then the consumer buys X combination rather than Y commodity, then the X combination is better revealed to preference took place. That is, he is preferring X than Y. Because both products are same, and suppose there are two phones, Samsung and another Redmi. Samsung is preferred means it's a strong ordering. There is equal configuration, equal memory, equal camera, but instead Samsung is ordered. Then it is called strong ordering. Here the combination of X is right to prefer, that he is revealing the preference have taken place. Strong ordering of X. The price line PL reflects the income price situation of the consumer. Now see the diagram. This is called price line. That one particular PL, that line is called, where C, A, B are there now, that line is called price line. First we have to drive with the X and Y. This is the maximum line. Now let's start with the consumer can choose the combination lying between the price line C, A, B. Below the left of line G, E, D, F. There are different lines. CAB combination he can able to choose. It is in the line. Normally he is choosing a particular gas. Say A means equal number of X and equal number of Y. Suppose any one particular is preferred more, then there will be a triangle, or the consumer can purchase any combination within that triangle, means it is a right choice of triangle. Suppose he is moving above or below, then these are the alternative combination. Where what are the alternative combination? It may be D, E, F, G, like that. So the combination lying the price line is equally cost. Suppose the combination is below the price line, then it is an inferior zone. What is that? The scattered area is a inferior one. CAB is equal cost. Less than that means that is D, E, any combination within that triangle, then it is inferior zone. Suppose that combination above the price line, it is superior zone. The gap between the preferred zone and the inferior zone is said to be ignorant zone. என்ன நடக்குன்னே தெரியாம ஒண்ணு நின்னு வச்சுங்க, அது நாலாவது zone, inferior zone. இப்போ ரெண்டாவது டயகிராம் பாருங்க, you can understand. Within that triangle, that is, we are drawing one price line PL. Here it is AB. Any combination within that triangle means it is called inferior zone. That particular line CAB, that means it is equally cost, it is equal preference. More than that, it is preferred zone. The difference between the preferred zone and inferior zone, there will be some lack of information about the market, then it is called ignorant zone. So how many zones are there? One is the preferred zone, the second one is inferior zone, and third one is ignorant zone. In all these three zones, he is not having the equal expression of the combination. Why? Because he is preferred both X and Y, the weak combination. Suppose he is taking a particular thing means, then it is strong combination. This is the explanation given by Paul Samuelson. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. All of you take your classwork, write once. Tomorrow I will continue with the difference and other things, because already you are I have given 7 to 8 assumption. Without knowing the assumption, it's very difficult. So tomorrow also I am going to continue the revealed equivalence. Same theory I will take again. At that time, I will just give how what are the merits, demerits, and how this assumption is framed. All these things I will let you know. Then I will conclude. So I'm going to take again tomorrow, because before that, write the assumption and two approaches in your classwork today. We'll meet tomorrow.